Hi, I'm Chad Emerson, and this is the official Huntsville City FC podcast.
This is Clark Dunn of Beyond Rockets, and we are honored to be the official producers for the HCFC podcast. You can find out more information about our work by visiting our website, beyondrockets.com today.
Hi, everyone. Chad Emerson. We're back here with the Huntsville City FC Behind the Scenes podcast. Today, we're excited to introduce you to our head academy coach, Yele Sadate. Yele, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
So, what does it mean to be the HCFC MLS Next head of academy?
I mean, it's a heavy title, I guess, but I've been working with youth in the community for so long that I'm excited for this opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're bringing MLS next year for the kids. So I'm excited to be part of it. Privileged to be part of it, and I can't wait to see what it does for the community.
So let's start with your soccer story. What's the first time you had a soccer ball at your feet that you remember?
Probably when I was 4.
Yeah? Tell us about that.
Well, I grew up in Nigeria, so every kid in Nigeria played soccer. So I think that's when I remember. I'm sure my parents put a ball on my feet when I was 1.
Yeah.
But when I remember kicking a ball was when I was 4, just with my brother, my friends, my cousins. So yeah.
Isn't the national team, is it something, the Eagles or?
A Super Eagles.
Super Eagles. What does it mean to be a Super Eagle in Nigeria?
I mean, that means you're playing on the national team.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure because everyone's looking at you. World Cup, Olympics. One of my earliest memories of soccer, watching soccer, was when Nigeria won the Olympics in '96 here in the United States. I remember staying up all night rooting for this game. I was 6 or 7 years old, and fireworks were going off. And when we won, because we beat Argentina and Brazil, and it was an exciting time there. So those are one of my earliest soccer memories.
Who's the best ever Nigerian soccer player that's not named you?
Nah, definitely not me. I don't know if I don't think I cracked the top 200.
Okay, well, who's the best ever?
Well, they're different categories. If you ask me skill-wise, there's JJ Okocha. So good they named it twice. That's what the saying goes. But there are other players. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'll say Kanu is one of the greatest. But there are a lot of Nigerian greats that play today and also in the past.
So other than the Olympic team, obviously that's a big deal. What are some of the other memories of the Super Eagles? I know they've been in the World Cup, they've African Cup, all those kind of things. They've always been one of the best teams in the continent, right?
Yeah, they have been. They've been a superpower. Them, Cameroon, Egypt, Ivory Coast, a lot of good quality African clubs. Unfortunately, haven't been able to put it all together to win a World Cup. But another memory is when Nigeria, there's a player named Sunday Olise. He hit a ball and scored against Spain. And I think we won that game 3-2. I think it was in the World Cup '98 in France. I remember that game as well. And that's when I was 8 years old, or 9 at the time. And that's when I was like, I want to play soccer for a living. I remember that game. So yeah, that was another memory.
Is soccer the most popular sport in Nigeria?
Definitely, yeah.
What's the second?
I would say maybe track and field.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's heavy in soccer. Basketball is growing.
I was going to say, have there been a couple famous basketball players?
Basketball is growing as well. So, but as a nation, I'll say maybe track and field as well, yeah.
So when did you leave Nigeria and where did you end up?
I ended up in Canada. So I left Nigeria when I was 12 and then moved to Canada, a city called Windsor, Ontario. It's right across the...
I grew up in Detroit, right across the river.
Yeah, right across the river from Detroit. So then I grew up from 12 till about 18. That's where I developed my soccer, not skills, tactical and fundamentals of the game. Because in Nigeria, it's more like street ball, street soccer. And then in Canada, it became more, hey, let's refine, use your skills to apply to a game-like situation. So yeah.
Was that a big transition going from something that's more just in the neighborhood, having a good time, playing however, to the very structure of that?
Looking back at it, you'd think so, but not for me for some reason. I don't know why. I think because I had my brother and some of my friends, my neighbors, at the time still played. We still played on the streets. We still played at the park. We played during recess. Like I played soccer during recess in Canada. So there wasn't really a change in terms of how I was playing. Now the quality of players that I was playing against were different because not everyone was playing, every day. Or soccer wasn't their thing. They would rather play hockey, football, lacrosse. So yeah.
So you're in Canada. When do you realize that this might be something more than you just play at recess?
I did not realize it until I was in college.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even know anything about college, to be honest. I was just trying to play at the highest level I can as a kid. Whatever was the highest I thought or what I was offered, I attempted to play there. And I kept doing that. I didn't even know college was a thing being in Canada, like US college. And luckily, one of the teams I played on was, invited to play in Dallas Cup. And then from Dallas Cup, that's where I got a couple offers from colleges, and UAB was one of them. And that's how I ended up in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from UAB was when I was like, okay, I could probably do this professionally. So
there's another guy in the club that's from UAB, right?
Yeah, Chris O'Neill. Yeah,
our head coach. What's the UAB? Were you there around the same time, or was
no? He was a alumni. When I got there, but he had come. We have alumni weekends or like alumni days. Still do now.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it back, but it's difficult with the coaching because it's during the weekend. Typically, I'm coaching games or something. But I've known Chris prior to him coming here. Actually, it's funny. There's a lot of UAB connections here, and Josh Stewart is also UAB.
Okay,
I played with him as well. Roomba is a Nashville guy. He's UAB. There's a lot of UAB connections within the Nashville HCFC family.
Who's the best of all four of those?
Josh Stewart.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? That's interesting because Josh is in physical performance.
He's in physical performance.
Yeah. So what made him a great soccer player?
He'll hate me saying this. He'll call me and tell me why did I do that? But no, he was actually in the national team pool.
Really?
Earlier, just think the U18 national team pool. So he was really good. He was one of the top players that I've played with.
All right.
I'm not even joking. So.
All right, Josh, when we post this, we'll let you know. We'll put it in the show notes. Yeah. So from UAB, where'd you go into your soccer journey from there?
Went to Seattle. Seattle Sounders, got drafted there, played about a year and a half-ish there, and also played Canadian team, tore my ACL.
Playing for Canada or
Seattle?
Canada?
Oh, okay. Was actually playing in a game for Canada against the United States at in Nashville, the Titan Stadium. I can't remember what it was called then.
Yeah, like Adelphia or Nissan or something.
It was called something. Yeah, something then. But that's where I tore my ACL, in Nashville, playing for Canada. I was still with Seattle, and then went back, rehab, got surgery, did all the rehabilitation, and then got let go like the following season. So
at that point, did you decide you want to get into coaching, or did you continue to try?
I continued to try. I actually went over to Finland to play a little bit, and then came back. My girlfriend at the time played volleyball at UAB, so we met at UAB, and she's from Madison, so I was like, I'm gonna go back.
Okay. Her name's not Heather, is it?
Yeah. So now she's my wife. So.
I know.
But I decided to come back, got some a job, and then decided, okay, let me give back to the sport that gave a lot to me, because soccer gave a lot to me.
Yeah.
And what's one way to do that is, coaching.
Where'd you get started coaching?
I actually started coaching while I was in college, but just part-time at Homewood.
Okay.
A club called Homewood. And then I left and then came back and then started coaching here in Huntsville. Club is now called NASC, North Alabama Soccer Coalition, but at the time they were called HCFC.
Yes.
Not to be confused with HCFC, HFC. So, yeah.
So I remember first meeting you when two of my oldest boys were playing middle school soccer. Were you coaching Huntsville middle school soccer at Goldsmith Schiffman Field, right?
I had about 2 years at Huntsville. Yeah, those are fun because I eventually ended up coaching some of those boys as well at the high school. So those were fun years.
Our next guest is the city administrator. I'm going to ask him about Goldsmith Schiffman because how you played soccer on that. We're going to have to find out if that was even legal. No, so middle school soccer, it was, it wasn't sanctioned at the time. I guess it is sanctioned now. It's the official sport. How did you get into middle school soccer?
Well, like I said, I was coaching HCFC, and I think a parent of a kid that went to Huntsville Middle just asked me, and I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll help."
Yeah,
and that's how I got into it. So
I've had kids play soccer from a decade and a half now. I remember the coldest game in my life. You remember that game?
Was that Huntsville Middle?
Huntsville Middle and Bell Mountain Park.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember that? Yeah, you were the coach. I don't know if we even could see anything because everyone was all just completely covered up. But
I played in a lot of growing up in Canada.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's true.
Games. So
that's true.
I don't know. I remember one game in Canada where the snow was up to my height.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Like when they shovel it off the field.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So your journey then continues on to high school soccer. Tell us how you got involved with Huntsville High.
Well, I can't remember exactly how that happened, but similar to how I got involved, I actually think it was the same person, Jim Meehan.
Yeah.
Same person that asked me for to join the middle school, asked me if I wanted to join Huntsville High School, and so I did, and that was 9 years ago actually, that I joined, and yeah, ever since it's unfortunate my last year because I'm doing the academy, but
yeah,
I'm glad for what I've done there.
So high school football is not played all around the world. It's relatively unique to the States. What tell us about your high school football experience and having these kids that some go into college, but a lot of them this is the end of their career and they get to play in front of friends and parents and girlfriends. And
yeah, it's unique. It's like I said, it's fun. It's a good environment, fun environment for players that want to have fun, don't have other alternatives, during the high school season, maybe clubs not going on, they want to do something, and then, ultimately go and play in college.
Yeah.
At whether it's playing Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, or even play club. Like a lot of my boys that have played at Huntsville High are dominant at club in Auburn.
Oh yeah,
club soccer,
Dawson and Huddle and all that crew, right?
Your son is part of it, right? And there's a group of 3-4 that are currently on the team right now.
Yeah,
that are going to start up another club team down in Auburn.
Really?
Yeah, and I said that's gonna be fun too.
As you look back, wrapping it up, and we'll talk about going to the academy, but what are some of the things that you would like to be remembered as by a high school and middle school coach?
Someone that was just there for the kids every time, known to have the right intention. I know the winning and losing is fun. Winning is fun, losing is not fun, but I don't really care much to be known for someone that won a lot of high school games or middle school games. Just want to be known for someone that cared a lot about the kids and their development, not only on the field, but also off the field as well.
So before we move on to the academy, one of the things you were known for, there's always one or two players that you learn their name and you yell their name very loud during the game. And Dawson or Cullen was never part of that. But, tell us, there's different ways to motivate different players, right?
Yeah.
And some, tell us how that happens and how you learned how to motivate.
Well, I've tried to be better at not yelling at certain players, but sometimes some players do respond well to someone pushing them. Some players don't, so you have to know that. And I've definitely learned over the course of my career coaching that hey, you can't yell at a player X the same way you yell at player Y. So I've learned that over the course of the year, or not even, I don't even call it yelling. I say raise my voice, or like, I'm not yelling because yelling is more bad intent or negative, has a negative.
You're expressing yourself very loudly from the bench.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's really what it is.
Their attention will not be missed.
And I tell them all the time, I'm like, hey guys, when I'm, if I yell at my 2-year-old to do the dishes the right way, am I a moron? Yeah, because my 2-year-old's not going to be able to do the dishes. I'm not going to yell at you if I don't think you can do it. The moment I stop like asking for you to do something, that's the moment I give up on you, right? That's the moment I say, "Oh, he can't do it. I'm not going to yell at him."
Yeah.
Right? So the players I yell at the most are the ones that I know have another level to get at. One of the players that I yell at the most, Caleb Pruitt. I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
He played in college, and guess what? He's part of the coaching staff last year. One of my favorite players that I've ever coached.
Yeah.
I love the kid, and I think he loves me. So that's just an example of what my yelling is. It's not really.
When I say that facetiously. Yeah. So it would seem in a logical progression that going from coaching one of the best high school teams in the state to coaching a U13 club team would be a step back, but you obviously made this decision very intentionally, right? Yeah. Tell us that thought process of coaching at a high level against the Oak Mountains and Hoovers and Grissom's of the world, and now U13 MLS Next.
One of the biggest things is exposure, right? Exposure to the world, the world of soccer outside of, high school or, this region. There's a lot of talent in this area that can compete at the high level. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
Or they don't know it because they haven't tested themselves against these elite teams, elite players around the country, the region. So it's one of those things. And also for me as well as a coach to test myself against the elite coaches in the region as well. But I think it's a fantastic opportunity for kids to get exposure, have dreams that they can achieve in terms of whether they want to play college, high-level college, D1, D2, or even potentially play pro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that have come through Huntsville High that I believe could play professionally, but it just wasn't feasible because the opportunity wasn't there, the exposure wasn't there. So I'm hoping, with the creation of MLS Next here, HCFC Academy, it helps exposure, and we're going to work towards trying to give that.
One of our North Stars guiding principles is core principles is player and family centric soccer. What does that mean to you?
It means giving the players the opportunity to decide what they want to do. We're going to create different opportunity, different choices for them. I don't know with the creation. I don't know if you've heard of the new creation of Vero. I'm sure, yeah, you have.
Yep.
Vero, right? That's also going to create different choices that players that come within our ecosystem have the ability to decide they want to do. If they want to play high school, that's fantastic. We have an option for you. If you want a path to pro, fantastic. We have an option for you. If you want if you want to, try it for 1 year, maybe go back the next year, we also have that option for you. We're going to be very flexible with families in terms of what we offer them.
And I think it's important to stress too is, focus on North Alabama, right?
Yeah.
I know, growing up, I took one of my kids 2 hours down the road to Birmingham 3 times a week because that was, the best opportunity at that time. What are you doing to make this a great experience, whether it be the coaches, the facilities, the league? Walk through why MLS Next is an incredible addition to North Alabama.
Well, yeah. So like you said, in the past, if a kid wanted to get that exposure, that high level exposure, they had to either drive to Birmingham, they had to go to Chattanooga, Nashville, Atlanta. But not with this, they can stay. It's in their backyard. I know there's a lot of other cities in North Alabama. There's Coleman, Florence, right? You still have to drive a little, but not as bad as going from Huntsville to Birmingham every 3 times a week, 2 times a week. School nights, you're doing your homework in the car.
Oh yeah,
doing your homework in the car, dizzy, car sick, all that stuff. I've heard that from my players. It's unfortunate that they've been doing that for the past couple years, actually way past a couple of years. But now, with the addition of MLS Next here in Huntsville, it's in their backyard. They're able to, not spend 2 hours, waste 4 hours of your day just driving back and forth for soccer. You can actually do quality of life as well, right? You can also play soccer here, get home, shower, have time to shower, eat dinner properly, and so yeah.
What's the best goal you ever scored?
Best goal I ever scored?
Yeah. What's your highlight goal?
It's actually on YouTube. It's my goal versus.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
all right. I'll go look it up.
My goal versus Virginia.
Yeah,
University of Virginia. Yeah, that was.
Walk us through that real quick.
There was a throw in from the side. Player threw it into me. My back was to goal, and I did not turn. I just kind of swung my foot, wrapped my foot around it, and it went into the top corner from the edge of the 18. So that's probably a poor description. You have to go on YouTube and look it up. So
it was UAB versus Virginia. What year was that?
2011.
Okay, 2011. I'll go look it up. Sounds like it
was a good goal.
Quite the blast.
It was a goal, yeah.
All right, that's Yele Sadate. He is the head academy coach, basically leader of the academy at HCFC's new MLS Next Academy. By the time we post this, we'll have had tryouts. But if people want to learn more about it, just because tryouts are passed doesn't mean there's not opportunities if you move into town or couldn't make it to tryouts. Tell us how to learn more about HCFC Academy.
So their information is on the HCFC website. So if you go to HCFC's website, you'll see there's a youth section. If you click on that, you'll see all the info needed. My email is out there. If you want to reach out to me, you can. And I'll get all the information I can to you.
All right. We'd like to wrap up a little segment called Our Top 3. We'll ask you 3 questions. You give us your top answer.
Okay.
And we'll wrap it up. What is the top non-English Premier League club in the world? Because I know exactly your EPL answer.
The standard answer would be Real Madrid.
Is that your answer?
Yes, Real Madrid.
Okay. Top field player in soccer right now in the world?
My answer?
Your answer.
Oof. There's a lot. I would say Yamal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go Bukayo Saka, but I'm an Arsenal guy, so
yeah.
I have to say Arsenal in there, but Yamal.
All right. And last but not least, the top sandwich in the world. If you were having one more sandwich to eat, what would that sandwich be?
A chicken croissant sandwich.
Chicken croissant sandwich. Any accompaniments with that? A little onion?
Spicy.
Okay.
Spicy chicken croissant.
All right. What's your if you're having your favorite Nigerian dish, what would be your go-to at a Nigerian cantina? A cantina in Lagos or something.
I would say there's a lot. Egusi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You told me about the Nigerian restaurant in town. I went up there.
How is it? Did you like it?
It's really good.
Really good.
It's very unique.
Yeah.
They don't have forks and utensils. You use it right.
So you have to eat it with
So. But it was great. That's one of the things that Huntsville has all these little surprises hidden.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's pounded yam.
Moi moi.
You
got a moi moi.
You got nice. I have moi moi. Yeah, there's a lot of good Nigerian dishes out there that I can't pick one. The standard that the party favorite is jollof rice.
Okay.
That's everyone eats that. That's standard. I eat that almost every week.
Okay.
So
good.
So yeah.
All right, everyone. That's Yele Sadate, the head academy coach for HCFC's MLS Next Academy. Yele, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we will be back next time with another guest talking HCFC soccer behind the scenes.